This is your announcer, Shannon Saint Mainframe, welcoming you to our IPA Livecast. 1 week after the Livecast talked about Lord Miles, he was set free. This is a very special power you boys have. I only wish you used it to free my beloved Jeffrey Epstein before it was too late. R.I.P. a lover. R.I.P. a Livecast starts now.
You know, you might think it's Jeffrey Epstein, but I actually had a private conversation with Shannon, and she and Jeff, as she called him, went back and forth many times, and she said, no, it's Epstein. So,
or it could be that whoever programs her speech just didn't spell Epstein correctly and made it Epstein.
Well, wasn't Jeffrey Epstein a computer programmer? Perhaps he's the one who programmed Shannon.
The plot thickens as he's moldering in the grave.
Yes, we'll never be able to ask him about the truth. But
wait, alleged? So, like, you're arguing he's not actually even dead?
I haven't seen the body. Have you?
No, that's true. I didn't think. I thought the controversy, of course, was whether he had committed suicide or was murdered. But you say he may be alive.
Yeah, it could have been a fake death.
There you go, Shannon. You have hope.
We'll check back in a week and see if us talking about it has.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like
anything.
though Shannon would be able to track him down. She has connections to all the digital platforms out there.
Yeah.
You know,
She's like Lawnmower Man. She can just reach into different like little graphical shapes on the screen and like call anyone in the world.
He's off the grid.
What we're positing here, not only do we have the ability to save a life, to save someone from captivity,
but only horrible people,
but also resurrect the dead. Epstein, we can bring Epstein back to life if he is in fact dead.
No, I'm saying he was never dead.
Oh, okay. Oh, I lost the plot there. Sorry, it's getting a little This is like Lost season 6. I apologize.
Imagine that was Epstein Island all along.
I mean, yes,
the Lost Island.
Oh my goodness, was there time travel involved? Did he go back to like 19? He sees a hot girl on the street.
It's like
she's like 30, and he's like, I want to mess with her when she's 10. I'm gonna go find the Dharma Initiative and go back and find.
Imagine I created a time machine specifically for that.
She'd be great on my island. She's just a little too old. I mean, he did have. If anyone had the funds and the access to create a time machine,
when Paramount Plus reboots Lost, this is going to be the plot.
The first episode is like Clinton and Hillary are in the plane. And it's rattling and falling apart. And just by coincidence, they land on Epstein Island. They never wanted to be there.
Yeah. It's their alibi. Oh, my God. I'd watch that show.
Trump. This wouldn't happen if it was on my plane. It's just...
Well, that's how everyone ends up on Epstein. What if Epstein Island is just the Lost Island? That's how Trump got there. Matt Groening, Bill Gates.
Matt Groening? What? He's one of the people.
He was on that list, yes.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. There's a story, apparently, a really creepy story about him. A woman testifying that she had to give him like a foot massage or something sitting next to Jeffrey. Well, he sat next to Jeffrey Epstein. He's on the logs.
I have to say, like, I hear some of those stories, and I guess like if you went to Epstein Island 37 times, like Bill Clinton, guilty. If you were on the plane once, like you don't know who Jeffrey Epstein is, and somebody comes up and starts giving you a foot massage, I could say this is like a rich guy plane thing. I could understand someone making that excuse. Couldn't you? I mean, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Hold on. So you're saying more than once? It's too much.
No, not even that. I'm saying like
where's the border?
I could understand someone not knowing he's a pedophile if you're not intimately connected.
I will agree with you in that. Like I could see how somebody not paying attention, let's say, goes one time, but then after one time, once you see what's going on, I don't think it takes.
Well,
Yeah, I
that's
don't
why
think it's you know,
I don't
like it takes a lot of
understand.
research to figure out what's happening. It's very clear in front of your eyes, you know, like
Is that the case
also
though? Do they just do that stuff out in the open
well
on
this girl
Epstein
I think
Island?
also when this girl was massaging him, she may have been quite young.
All right.
But
Well, that's
I'm not sure.
ridiculous.
But like the only accusation is he got a foot rub.
Something like hold on. Well, let me look it up.
Because
Now
like I
gotta
don't
look
know
it
that
up.
there's like a age of consent for a foot rub. I don't know.
Oh,
that's,
absolutely. It's nothing illegal. It's just
that it should set off an
creepy.
alarm bell, is what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The poor girl that had to rub Matt Groening's crusty ass bunion feet. Oh my God! Have you seen
Oh
him?
man,
Oh,
hold on.
Lord.
Well, that's funny that you say that.
Oh no, is there a picture?
Because well, the headline from the U.S. Sun, which is the U.S. version of the UK tabloid
Oh
rag,
boy.
it's a giant picture of Matt Groening with the
Oh, he didn't look
headline.
that bad anymore. What am I? He looked.
They were
cleaned up.
yellow.
Oh, no.
Simpson creator Matt Groening's sweaty, crusty toes.
Well,
Nearly
so
made
are the
Epstein-
Simpsons. Is
Right,
that why the
essentially.
Simpsons were that color?
Clearly, an
during
homage to
Lolita-
his feet.
Oh my! Wow.
Oh.
Writing in the manuscript for a book unsealed with other court documents last week, Virginia Roberts describes Epstein telling her to rub Matt Groening's feet during a ride on Epstein's Lolita Express private plane.
Okay, you know what? I gave it a whirl. I was trying to be like Rob, aspiring to your always giving the benefit of the doubt
Right.
thing.
No, I only do that to death metal musicians, not the creator of my favorite television series.
I'm
No,
done.
but I
He's
also-
guilty.
I-
Lock him up.
I also was like, it took the same initial POV, Darren, until I read the slightest bit about what happened.
I mean,
And
he
it's
should
like,
be
oh,
arrested
no.
for yellow feet just to begin. What's going on there? What the fuck are you doing? You got billions of dollars. Get your feet treated. He looks like he cleaned up a lot, though. He looked like terrible. He looked like Jerry Garcia at one point.
Current Jerry Garcia.
Well,
Oh, this is honestly, if I had a tabloid piece that had this in it, I don't know if I would ever publicly appear again. Because okay, so here is the
Scared.
full quote from this woman, Virginia Roberts, in her unsealed manuscript. She says she boarded a flight from an airstrip at LA's private airport. On the plane was an unexpected visitor, she wrote. Matt Groening, the producer of the Simpsons TV show, was catching a ride with us. I was so excited as I loved watching his show and acted like a starstruck fan. I was enjoying our conversation when Jeffrey insisted I gave Matt a foot massage throughout the duration of the short flight.
oh, wait, so Matt didn't even want it? Is that what we're saying here? He was raped too?
I
a
don't
foot
think
massage?
she's saying that. I think they're just probably talking, and you know, Jeffrey's the pimp being like, "Hey, why don't you?"
I was just
I
playing around.
never turned down a client, but when I saw the shape of his feet, I nearly threw up at the
Oh,
thought
the
of having
shape
to
made her-
touch them.
What
He
could they be
had-
shaped like that you would throw up? I don't know.
Swastika? Or his toes so mangled that
Why-
they somehow.
It was a carrot. That's why. It was Sid. Sid would have thrown up.
Oh,
Shaped like a carrot.
then they would be orange feet.
Well, I will answer all of these questions in the next few paragraphs.
Oh no, no.
Oh, they're not even doing the vague thing in this article, are they?
It's still quoting her. He had yellow, crusty toenails that even someone with a chainsaw would have had trouble cutting through. And there was the fluffy balls of leftover pieces of sock wedged between the crevices of his sweaty toes. How descriptive.
I was expecting to have to show his feet off when he got on the plane. I can't fully attack him.
But also then, if that's the case, he could have turned down the massage.
That's
No
also
one is
yes.
forcing-
That's all right. Yeah, that's fair.
If you know that,
What if
so hold
Epstein's
on.
like, listen, I'm letting you get on my plane. Take your show feet. It's the least you can do
or
for me.
what if Epstein's like, hey, I have this fetish of making Virginia Roberts real uncomfortable.
Why you gotta
Don't
keep
get-
using her full name, Rob?
Don't get a pedicure for like 3
Oh.
months. And like get some sort of foot fungus or something too,
Oh.
and then come and I'll make her give her from. I don't know.
Maybe he's got the diabetes. He's got the diabetes feet.
So hold on. There's a little
Poor
more.
Virginia.
Now that was the real icing on the cake
Roberts.
for me. No way I could attempt this, I thought. She then describes deciding to wash Groening's feet before going ahead with the massage.
Like,
She
that's
adds,
better?
"That's actually okay.
You still have to
get some-
touch him to wash him.
Yeah, but if she gets some damp towels, heat them up. Like it's, it's something. Washes the sweat off."
Oh my
She
god.
then describes she adds that he also
Roberts.
this is the part that's like so weird to me. She
This is
adds that
the previous things have not been weird, is what
Not-
you're saying.
I
about
also-
to get-
it reaches another level here. Let's say.
This is imagine going to Child Rape Island and you're the weirdest thing. On
Yeah.
the planet.
Well, like what I mean to clarify my
I know what
statement
you mean.
to Sid's point is like this is the particularly weird thing about this instance that cannot be replicated with any other person because she adds that he also agreed to draw sketches of Simpsons characters, Homer and Bart, for her dad and brother, both big fans of the show, and that it was such a nice gesture, his feet were no longer an issue.
Oh.
That
Then
can't be
what's-
true. One fucking sketch of two characters you've seen your entire fucking life, and you don't care about these gnarly ass feet anymore.
And clearly she cares enough to remember it, to put it in her
Yeah, why bring
friggin'
it up
memoir. Yeah.
I gave you a priceless gift and you're still foot shaming.
Yeah, really.
The article goes on to say there's no suggestion of any involvement in Epstein's crimes or any other wrongdoing on the part of Groening. But still, like,
Just
I
poor
think this is
grooming.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you've got a gigantic infested bunion sticking out of your toe, but you drew Otto on the school bus. Thank you. Thank you. I'll gladly squeeze the pus out of your toenail.
Now, do we
Also,
think it was
she
just,
was 16 years old at the time, to be clear.
do we think it was like a regular sketch of Bart and Homer, or was it like one of those fucked up porn cartoons where they were like 69ing each other?
Rule 34.
That would
Oh
change
my
everything.
God. I feel like that's like a rite of passage of being online as a teenager, especially in the late 90s, is just bumping into this like really inappropriate cartoon porn, usually incestual of the
Yes.
characters in
Right.
the
Well,
series.
Epstein made him to draw Marge touching Maggie. Because that's what that was his
Oh.
sketch that he requested.
Oh.
I mean, it's
Boo.
Epstein. What do
Do
you
you
expect?
Boo, Epstein.
Do you
Who-
think Yeardley Smith was discovered on Epstein Island?
Oh no.
Really? Wasn't she old
She
then?
sounds like a child even in her 60s, so she might have had
Oh,
like,
like he made a mistake and thought she was 8,
yeah.
and then like he said, "This is great. You don't belong here. Go be a
Yeah.
star."
Yeah, have Mac Grady, you can have her. She's too old for me, but she sounds right for what you're going for. Yeah, they had like a separate like trash bin with the ones he didn't want, and he just would hand them off.
You think Epstein tried having sex with Yardley Smith to like legally pursue his fetish because she sounded like a young girl, and it didn't work? So he had
I
to,
mean, if it wasn't Epstein, I'm sure she's definitely had that happen in
Yeah.
her love life.
I'm sure. Poor Yardley. Well,
Is she
it's
still with us?
it's worth $450 million, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
she's the furthest from poor, I would
She
say.
can afford a
She's
lot of therapy.
59 years old. Let's see what her
Yeah,
net worth is.
That's even younger than I would have thought. She was on Herman's Head too.
Yes, that's right.
That's the first time
I
I
think
saw
I'll-
any,
Yeah.
like the first time I saw her in anything other than The Simpsons. I was like, well, that's what she looks like.
Celebrity
bunch of
net
the
worth
voice
says
actors.
85 million is her net worth, which is actually
I-
low from what
I feel
yeah.
like it's low. But I do remember that they all the voice actors took a pay cut to keep the show going. But
When was
with that
this?
said, it was still a significant amount per episode. I'm sure. I think they still make $250,000 an episode, which
Oh,
is
so
like
that was like
over-
40 years ago. I mean, like the show has
Yeah.
gone almost 40
Exactly.
years.
Yeah.
I was just watching a YouTube video of a guy that whose opinion I respect most of the time, saying that The Simpsons is like great now. The last 2 seasons, not just it got a little better, but it's like amazing. And that
No.
it's I haven't seen it, but like that writers of the original Simpsons are praising it and all that stuff. Is that true?
They're fine, but I wouldn't they're nowhere. It's not like it's still a new Simpsons.
Right. Okay.
I wouldn't. Oh, and to be fair, I haven't watched all of them, but I check it. Like, if the one-liner plot on Hulu seems like it could be okay, it's like, okay, I'm curious how they tackle this
And
gag.
we're talking 33 and 34 the seasons, or we're talking something else.
The most recent seasons, yeah, whatever. Yeah, they only have the newest seasons on Hulu, and so it's fine, but it's not.
It's not old Simpsons.
It's not. Yeah, it's different.
What percentage out of 100 is it of the old Simpsons? Like, how much worse is it out of 100? Like, if the old Simpsons was 100,
it's hard to say, but I would say it's like, I don't know.
70s?
I can't really. Yeah, like my instinct was to say like 60, 50, 60, something like that.
Oh wow, that's low. I think for it to be praised
it's
that
not.
high.
Yeah, I think that's very high praise.
Okay.
But,
Well, I can't say. I
Maybe
haven't
the
watched.
episodes with the bad one-liners had a better, more cohesive plots. I mean, I will say this. Even in the episodes where I'm like, there's usually a few gags, a few cutaways or what have yous that are like, okay, that's funny.
I think that was the case even in the Try Too Hard, like the horrible.
Yeah.
I think that was the case.
Agreed.
The guy made a good point though, and he said like in the bad seasons, what was really wrong with it is that it was like it didn't even know what kind of show it was. Like it was like, look at how Simpsons we are. Like they were just called back. Like they did a joke about the Simpsons hedge meme in the Simpsons.
Oh my god!
Like Homer Simpson going back into the hedge, or like Lisa sees that online somewhere, someone doing the hedge.
Oh no!
That's like, what are you doing? Like you're just literally a parody of yourself, not even anymore like figuratively.
But this is recent.
That was in the last bad season, quote unquote. Like the bottom of the one that's the lowest rated on IMDb. That's like the pit. I think it was season 29 or 30. Is considered the absolute nadir of The Simpsons by the fans. They call it Zombie Simpsons, I heard.
Oh,
I like that.
Yeah, because they're still making The Simpsons. They're still walking around, but it's just like nothing like the show,
Dusty Rhodes Buffalo writes, it's not the Frasier. We talked about this last week. I actually watched the reboot because it premiered this week on Paramount Plus. Do not watch it. Don't even. I mean, I guess if you want to see how bad it is, but it feels like a show that belongs on like UPN or the CW.
Well, based on what you said in the Discord, I want to watch it now. I like amped me up to watch it.
It's very you could really see the full cash in of it. It's just no care for the past lore of Frasier. No effort to like be clever, just very on the nose bad humor.
The tone is wrong, you're saying?
Yes, the tone is completely off. The characters are just not as good, and they're all replacements of the archetypes of the original series.
Is Kelsey Grammer the only original cast member still in it?
Yes. So it's lame. There's nothing redeemable about it.
Zombie Frasier.
Yeah.
It's exactly. And the laugh track somehow just feels so out of place. I don't know.
I thought it was kind of out of place on the original, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. It's not that kind of show. But I think that was just the time. Like, if it probably aired now, it would have no laugh track whatsoever. Be more like a movie, probably, as most shows, like semi-serious, funny shows are.
Mm-hmm. Well, we talked about. Shannon mentioned Lord Miles at the top of the show.
Yes.
So I wanted to give an update because I am impressed. The rumors are true. Like I said last week, his Twitter account started seeing more activity from friends, and it was very doubtful because there was no actual proof. It was just like, oh, I'm his friend. He's alive. In a few weeks, you'll see. And it was hard for me to believe until, as I mentioned, somebody who I know who is not a liar said that he saw proof that he can't really go into detail of that Lord Miles was alive. And so now I'm questioning. I'm like, oh, well, if he was willing to publicly admit this. This is certainly interesting. And sure enough, earlier this week, I believe on Monday, or Tuesday, in fact, it came out that Miles, as well as 3 other British captives, were set free and will be arriving in the UK later that day. And then Lord Miles got back on his Twitter account, and he wrote, 8 months in Taliban intelligence custody. Best adventure I've had yet. All the previous tweets are true. Best mates with many top commanders after numerous picnics. Lovely lads treated me as a guest. I will be returning to Kabul next month.
Now, it looks like he's like more jacked now than he was in the early pictures we saw when we first talked about him. He seems like thicker. Who gets taken hostage by the Taliban and puts on weight? Like,
he's gonna.
They must have actually treated him well.
Yeah.
They like him as a propaganda unit.
I guess so. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Like he's working. He gives them a favorable critique, but. And to quickly recap, this guy is a YouTuber, a troll, if you will, who doesn't believe in the political propaganda and claimed that it was probably safer to live in Afghanistan than it would be to live in Brooklyn, New York, which he came to visit one time, and he mentioned how Bay Ridge felt more dangerous than Afghanistan, and then went back to Afghanistan after visiting. And then he got caught and lost his internet and got captured. And then, everyone assumed he might be dead. He might be captured. Who knows? Turns out after months, here he is. He is alive. So let's dig into some more of these tweets. And I feel like this will be the last kind of check-in for a while we have with Lord Miles, because as you'll see, it stops being funny and starts just being kind of gross. So we'll see where that turn happens. So
is it when he shows his yellow crusty feet?
He goes, really outdid myself. Why did some of you think I was dead? Why did anyone worry in the slightest? No faith in me. I have pull. Literally was watching the new Barbie movie with the Taliban and saw some of your comments on their phones. All of us snickering. Hee hee. I've been promised that all business docs will be set up for me as a gift when I return to Afghan. Thank you, Commander and GDI. I will also receive a letter of immunity, meaning I cannot be stopped at checkpoints and searched. Added bonus, it's a weapons license. More info later. Fun story. Just got to consider if I should pop down to Israel versus Palestine. Obviously want to.
Oh my God.
Second book almost finished.
He has
YouTube
a
video
book?
under works. Gold mine company. Well, of course, anything to cash in on this. Just thank you thank you for waiting. This has not made me question anything. I'm only getting started. This may be absurd in the real world, but who wants to live there? I'm Lord Miles. So there we go. Yeah, you could really see his transformation here in these before and after photos in the tabloids. And then as he tweets that he's out, obviously he starts trending on Twitter and everything. And who responds?
Robert Pezzabini.
No, I did not. No, Andrew Tate responds saying, wow, Afghan prison sounds better than Romanian prison. Because he said he had his own servants. They would get him food. Like it was chill, and that they should hang out. So I believe they're doing a live or a pre-taped interview sometime later today, Saturday, October 14th.
I'm having a hard time believing that this was a real prison. I don't think this is where you go when you commit a crime in Afghanistan.
I guess maybe if you're like a high-value prisoner, they put you in like a more special place than they do for the regular dregs of society.
Right.
I don't know.
He noted that he had been kindly offered a Taliban escorted trip to Tora Bora in Afghanistan, caves where bin Laden hid out.
Oh,
so
cool.
that he could make
it's
a
like a
YouTube
tourist
video.
attraction.
He oversaw the arrest of a member of ISIS who was attempting to sneak in to Afghanistan through Pakistan. GDI caught and arrested him very easily. The Taliban have zero tolerance for ISIS. They're eliminated from Afghanistan. Look at this propaganda that he's doing for them.
part of the deal, I'm sure. Wants that weapons license.
Why not?
Yeah. Go roam the streets of Kabul with a slingshot.
Interestingly, he told all the press that he would be arriving in the Birmingham airport, but then arrived in London so that he wouldn't be bothered by them.
Very clever.
Good troll. Here's the quick little press clipping from Sky
Some
News.
breaking news now, and details are emerging about 3 British men who are being held in Taliban custody in Afghanistan. They include so-called danger tourist Miles Rutledge, who returned to the country after being evacuated by British armed forces less than 2 years ago. He's on the right there. The other 2 men are charity
I like that she had to
medic
clarify which one was
Cornwall,
the British
who's
guy.
here, and another unnamed UK national who
Not the
We've got
one
some
with the
breaking news
turban.
now,
on.
Also, that other guy looks like Lord Miles if they like aged him.
Mm-hmm.
Very suspicious. All of this is very suspicious.
I agree. I feel like we're being trolled somewhat here.
Yeah.
If I have my way, I would have been deported from Afghanistan straight to
Oh my
Gaza.
God.
Charity and journalism exclusively. Skin
Yikes.
isn't doing too hot, readjusting to Western food and climate. Won't look like a pepperoni pizza in a week or so. Good stuff.
Are there people who like unironically follow this guy and think he's like really cool and love him, or is this
I
just
think
like
so, yeah.
Probably. Yeah. Why not?
man? Lord Miles stands.
When is he going to be on Squared Circle, Pit Rob? Now that he's available.
I'm not sure if he's into pro wrestling, though. That's the
Oh,
problem.
come on. He loves danger. Of course he is. He's a deathmatch fan.
You can get him to comment on Middle Eastern wrestlers
Yeah.
like Muhammad Hassan.
I wonder if there's wrestling in Afghanistan.
Probably.
Why'd you say it like that?
He's doing that
Respectfully?
the news anchor thing. I'm not sure that was respectfully.
Yeah.
Afghanistan.
I don't know what accent was that?
I want to apologize to any Afghani listeners that we have right now.
Yeah.
Afghani. Just making it worse. Put the shovel away.
I don't know what you're talking about, Darren.
Someone's offended.
Neither
I
do
don't know
you.
who it is, but there's someone out there that's offended by what you just did.
All the Afghanis are
Yeah.
very upset.
What else is going on in the world today? Well, I guess.
You mean
Sharon
outside of
Osbourne-
Afghanistan? What's
Yeah.
going
Well,
on?
I have to say, I'm really glad that the Osbournes have a podcast now because
Right.
they're giving us great material to work with every week and really allow me to hone in and perfect my Sharon
Yeah,
Osbourne
here we go.
accent.
How would she say Afghanistan?
Oh,
Hold on, let me get a sip of water. My mouth's a little
are
dry.
you done? Okay.
He didn't even start yet.
Oh no.
He's warming
up.
Afghanistan!
Okay. More guttural than I expected. I like it.
That's the Eastender version of Sharon.
It's when she's really upset in her white trash accent.
I bet she has some choice words about Hamas and
Oh my
all that
God.
stuff. Imagine
got
what
it.
she would just say about the lesbians and Chinese people working in her office. Imagine, this event.
Ozfest Gaza has been canceled, sadly.
Oh no. Oh no.
So,
Oh no, that
Blabbermouth-
picture. That's what Lord Miles should look like right now.
Am I crazy? She looks a little better, I think.
Oh,
Not that she looks good. I'm grading on
Maybe
the
it's
scale of
just
what
the
she
lighting is more. It's more favorable since it's a little more dim.
No, I'm saying she looks better than like before she had this skinny, like her losing all this weight.
Is this her post losing all the weight? You think
I'm
she
saying
put on a little
before I'm
Oh,
saying before she lost all the weight, she looked worse.
I see.
Not, I mean, it is kind of like
So you're
not far
you're
from A to B.
retroactively You're retroactively fat shaming Sharon Osbourne, is what I mean.
No, I'm saying that this is not a downward progression, is what I'm saying. Not because she was fat, it just did something to her face that
I see.
What it
So
looks
now,
like
now
to
you would
me,
bone her?
no, they didn't reach that threshold, but
Okay.
like
less bad.
so in medical school they do experiments on cadavers. For
Okay.
plastic surgery school, is there the same thing where like they take the dead body of a woman and then just do all sorts of fucked up shit to her face? Because that's what Sharon looks like in
Yeah.
this picture.
I didn't know where you were going with that. I thought you were going to say she should volunteer to be a cadaver.
Well, it's not long now, probably. But she looks like a dead body that people have just injected shit into the face of. It's mortifying. She needs to just stop the Ozempic altogether, please, Sharon.
Oh, she said she stopped, I believe.
100%? Not like
Yeah, 'cause-
weaning
'cause
herself
she-
off? Okay.
Ozempic
yeah.
is her new Ozzy. Ozzy. That's
That's
what
a
she calls
commercial
the
they
drug. I need some more Ozzy.
That I could see that being an actual commercial. That's the next Super Bowl commercial they do.
I mean, pay them enough money, they would do
Yeah.
it. Why
Or
not?
just give her free Ozempic.
I'm all out of Ozzy. I need Ozzy's.
And then he shows up. She's like, "Not you, the one
You
that
just-
matters."
Poor guy shambles in through 37 rooms of their mansion and no, I wasn't talking about you, you cunt.
That's the director's cut. That's the red band
Oh.
Ozempic commercial.
Imagine.
So what is the deal now? There's a suicide pact. Oh boy.
Assisted. She has to help him.
Oh yeah.
Can I
The
see that?
same nurses that egged who did they egg? Was
Iron
it Iron
Maiden.
Maiden? Yeah.
Yes.
Now
I
they're
wanna
helping
see-
kill them.
I want to see this in writing. I want to make sure she's not just looking for a way to kill Ozzy.
Yeah, she backs out at the last second.
I want to see him confirm this on camera.
Oh, he'll do whatever
Blink
she
twice.
says. Yeah.
Yeah, like he's pledged his loyalty to her many times, in the sense of
Get him out of a room with her and then ask him. I don't trust this shit. Ozzy's a national
I feel like
treasure.
I've seen it. Like he just doesn't think he could go on without her.
Just don't want him to get
Yeah.
Epstein. Is all I'm saying.
Ozzy and
Epstein.
Sharon Osbourne, along with their children Jack and Kelly, have released the 5th episode of their podcast. Among topics covered in the episode is Sharon's claim in her 2007 memoir that she and Ozzy, I was about to say, she and Ozzy had agreed to go to a Swiss-assisted dying organization, Dignitas, should either of them suffer from the common form of dementia.
Look, she's been trying to get rid of him for 15 years. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wow.
Asked by Jack if that is still the plan, Sharon responded, "Do you think we're going to suffer?" Which Jack countered with, "Aren't we already all suffering?"
Yeah, I have to
Sharon
live
said-
with you.
Sharon said, "Yes, we all are, but I don't want it to actually hurt as well. Mental suffering is enough pain without physical. So if you've got mental and physical, see ya."
See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya.
Kelly then asked, "But what if you could survive?" To which Sharon responded, "Yeah, what if you survived and you can't wipe your own ass? You're
Oh.
pissing everywhere. You can't eat."
Oh. Well, that's a pleasant thought. Tune in next week.
Also, hasn't that been Ozzy for like the last 25
The
years?
thing is, he has Parkinson's now, it's
Oh.
going to get worse. In 2014, Ozzy told The Mirror that his and Sharon's suicide pact had been extended to cover any life-threatening condition as well as Alzheimer's disease.
So hold on. Does this have to be they both are suffering from something like this? Or if like Sharon's completely fine and Ozzy has Alzheimer's, she
See
still
ya.
has to kill herself? Like what how does this work?
See ya.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they have. Isn't that what a suicide pact is? Like they would both commit suicide.
I think
Or-
she might be using the term wrong. I think it's a.
Or she's
homicide
saying,
pact.
yeah, like
Yeah.
a good question. Like, is she saying if one of them suffers from dementia, the other would go and kill them? And the other one would live. But so Ozzy said in 2014, if I can't live my life the way I'm living it now, and I don't mean financially, then that's it. Switzerland. If I can't get up and go to the bathroom myself, and I've got tubes up my ass and an enema in my throat,
An
then
enema
I
in your
said-
throat.
Then I've said to Sharon, just turn the machine off. If I had a stroke and I was paralyzed, I don't want to be here. I've made a will and it's going to Sharon if I die before her. So ultimately, it would all go to the kids.
Well, if
Clock's-
Sharon wants that.
Clock's ticking, buddy. This Ozfest proceeds in not supporting me lifestyle anymore. No more 50-50.
I guess there's no fucking a hairdresser stipulation in this contract.
So here's the context. In 2007, it was first reported that Ozzy had agreed to a suicide pact with Sharon because she didn't want to go through the pain her father, Don Arden, did when he suffered from Alzheimer's. At the time, Sharon claimed she and Ozzy had made the mutual decision earlier that year after music mogul Arden lost a struggle with the neurodegenerative disease and died in July 2007, aged 81. She said, "We believe 100% in euthanasia, so have drawn up plans to go to the assisted suicide flat in Switzerland if we ever have an illness that affects our brains. If Ozzy or I ever got Alzheimer's, that's it. We'd be off."
See ya.
We gathered the kids around the kitchen table, told them our wishes, and they all agreed to go with it.
So
She
can they do like a modern version of Suicide Solution about this? Because he was against it when he wrote that song, or so he told the jury.
Oh,
Now
well,
he's for it.
the plot thickens again.
Yeah. Got to
Maybe
open that case up.
Yeah, exactly. Go revisit that shit. Put him in jail.
Yeah, well, then that's probably also a reason for suicide. He'd just go to Switzerland right before turning himself in.
Put him in the next cell over from Matt Groening with his crusty ass feet.
Oh my God. Is that in there if our feet start turning yellow? Suicide?
Probably not.
No.
Yeah, I'm guessing not, no.
We're probably already
But
there.
it should be.
Jaundiced old man.
Oh my God. That's probably what Groening had too.
Yeah. Although he looks great. Can't deny it. He looks good now.
Well, after those reports came out, he was embarrassed. Nobody told him that it
Yeah.
was unattractive. He finally did something about it.
Was it embarrassment or was it he was trying to cover up evidence? Like, look, my feet are fine. What are you talking about? I never-
About someone else's feet.
Yeah,
That's
like,
Seth
this is
MacFarlane. She meant Seth MacFarlane.
the other guy that draws stupid cartoons.
I would believe that Seth MacFarlane was on Epstein Island, but he legitimately only wanted to sing to the children.
No,
I would believe that.
that's all he wants to do.
Yeah.
Sing.
Just because
Prove-
nobody here wants to hear that shit.
Right. To prove that he can sing over and over.
Captive audience. Christmas Carol at the sex slaves.
And the
That's
girl
how
was
you
like,
know you-
"Please take me back to the sex slave dungeon. I don't
Yeah,
want
are
to
you
hear.
sure you don't want to fuck?
I don't want to hear any more Tony Bennett standards. Please."
This guy is the worst. Then he's telling me about the last time he was on the Bill Maher show. I don't want to hear it. Go away.
It's like, yeah.
Oh,
So,
It's like, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no, go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, it's all right. Whatever. He's gonna be bragging about how he was on the Bill Maher show. Oh man, Richard Steele was there. It was great. totally dunked on him.
Such an enlightening conversation. I think we really made progress.
I reached across the aisle, and then I sang some Perry Como.
Oh my God.
That should be a Family Guy cutaway. Remember that time I was on the Bill Maher show? I sang Perry Como to Richard Steele.
For all I know, it has been a cutaway.
Yeah,
that's
right.
I haven't seen an episode in quite some time.
The show's been on long enough for every combination of four things to have been
Yeah.
in the cutaway scene. Every permutation.
Exactly right.
Hey, Lois. Remember that time I made Jake Tapper cry on the Bill Maher show?
That's pretty good.
I bet you didn't wake up this morning, Darren, thinking you'd have a reason to do your Peter Griffin impression on the show, but here we are.
Shit happened. Remember that time on R.I.P. a Livecast? When I made fun of Peter Griffin?
bless the Seth MacFarlane. He's only somewhat. Has he done anything cancelable that I can't really
Cancelable? I don't know.
I mean, his shows never keep going. Nothing about him has been canceled, sadly.
I very much like the Orville. That's the exception to the rule for me. I'm a huge fan of the Orville. I don't know if you've seen it.
I have not.
But it's like they just, with all these bloated, shitty, like Star Trek cash-in franchise shows, and they're doing the Star Trek like more of an homage to Star Trek with the Orville than Star Trek is doing for its own properties. And I very much enjoy it. But I'm not, again, I have a lot of Seth MacFarlane fatigue.
Yeah.
But that show's good. I think you would both like it if you care at all about Star Trek. If you have any, it's still a good show, but I could.
Do we think his net worth higher or lower than Yeardley Smith?
Oh my goodness. What, like
higher for sure.
Times a magnitude of 10, I would say.
Not quite. He's at 300 million.
What
According
is
to
she
Celebrity
again? I
Network.
forgot.
85.
I think that's
Still like
low.
5
I think he's close to a billionaire.
He's got some offshore accounts.
Not even that. I mean, just all these shows he did. I mean, they're all successful.
Yeah.
And he's the creator.
Yeah, he gets way more points on that stuff than she would. So making money at a much quicker pace. And also, Family Guy's been running now for fucking 20 years.
She's only 10 years older than him, which is surprising.
He's up there. Well, he had a show on Fox in like 99. Family Guy started.
I guess, yeah.
He had to be at least 30, I would think. I don't know if Family Guy got canceled, right? After like 2 seasons.
They brought it back.
Also, James Hetfield reveals something that I find hard to believe.
He was on Bill
Lars
Maher.
Ulrich never rehearsed until 4 or 5 years ago.
Well, you find that hard to believe? You find it hard to believe that he started, or that
He started? Yes. Yes.
He sounds good now. It's so weird. He's just sorry. All he needed to do was rehearse. Not really.
No, they actually did sound really good when I saw them this summer.
I don't. So, just I guess this story will clarify, but I feel like I've seen videos of them rehearsing, like they're in rehearsals all the time on these videos that they put out to their fans constantly. You see behind the scenes stuff, and they're rehearsing. So, what am I watching there?
Maybe what you're watching is them warming up right before a concert. They're just
Really?
warming up.
No, remember a year and a half in the life of Metallica, that thing they put out when they were making the Black Album, they made a running documentary of it, and it's like half of that is just rehearsals, and this sounds like shit, take it out, and it's like just endless footage of them in the studio, like they're not warming up to play or anything. They're just like that. So what was that? Was that not rehearsals?
Yeah, I guess there's a difference between rehearsing new songs before you go record them and rehearsing to go on tour. Is that the distinction here?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
So which one did Lars never do? Rehearse to go on tour?
To go on tour, yes.
Okay.
Here he goes. An interesting fact, Lars never rehearsed until, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. He started really getting into rehearsing. And now, I mean, he'll rehearse 4 days for a 2-hour set, which is what he needs to do, which is awesome.
Nice little passive aggressive dude.
So there was going to be rehearsals for Power Trip, which is this big festival in the same site as Coachella. That was all just like, metal bands.
That just happened, right?
Yeah, that just happened this
We
past
just
week.
talked about this somehow.
So they were supposed to happen at Metallica's headquarters in San Rafael, California, for a couple of days beforehand. And I said, I'm not going to show up, guys. I would love it if we could find a rehearsal space here, closer to the Power Trip Festival, because I'd love to see all the other bands. And Robert got on board, and then we found a place over here, and it's at the Polo Grounds at the Empire Polo Club to rehearse. And I'm grateful that Lars was up for it. So we did rehearsals down there, and we came, and we have rehearsals, and we get to watch all these bands. It's cool to have your own compound at a festival, and then you show up, rehearse, and then go out there and watch Iron Maiden.
A compound? What, you start serving Kool-Aid?
What?
That scares me when I hear compound.
And there's all this footage of them like rocking out to Maiden and Judas Priest and all these other bands because they're just hanging out at this festival.
I bet they rehearsed, Lars.
Yeah. I guess he used to sort of view himself like the Shaquille O'Neal of metal, where he just he played himself into shape during the tour. Like that
So-
was the thing with Shaq. He never arrived in shape to start the new season. He figured he'd use the regular season to get into shape for the playoffs. So I guess Lars was just like, our first few shows we do will suck because that's my rehearsal. And then
That was my next comment. Fuck you if you're going to the first 4 shows in this
yeah,
tour.
seriously.
Oh well, suck it up,
Yeah.
folks. Move to another city.
Well, that's the draw of the first 4 shows. You get to watch Lars rehearse. He's in rehearsal mode.
Can't wait to see that.
I guess
Only
who's
the
going to a
best
Metallica
rehearsals.
show to like for Lars anyway? So the
Yeah, but
difference probably isn't colossal.
It's important.
He could be so bad that it fucks up the whole songs, though. You know.
Yeah. Oh well. I guess better late than never to figure out that maybe rehearsing helps.
Mm-hmm. Oh well. Yeah. Now that he's 70, to figure out how
Now
to
he
play
just
the drums.
legitimately doesn't remember the songs.
Right.
He's in on that suicide pact.
He's gonna say with James, the 2 of them.
That's the next documentary, just them dealing with end of life issues. Getting a therapist to like go over the contract.
They had one documentary of their 20s and 30s issues. They had one documentary about their midlife crisis issues.
Yeah.
Why not do another one where they're shitting in their fucking diapers too?
I think I think they should.
It'd be like the trilogy of the 72 seasons. There you go. Now it'd just be 72 years instead.
Yeah. Rob, you okay?
Frozen.
I'm okay.
Little
I'm
stroke
here. I'm
over,
still here.
stroking out.
He's thinking about his own assisted suicide pact.
Well, I'm not signing that. Anyone listening to this, if they produce a document signed by me, it's forged. I did not.
Non-binding.
Oh no! Like I don't. My assisted suicide would just be heroin or some sort of opiate that I would numb myself to the finish line.
Yeah, but assisted means you can't get the needle in. You have to have a person in on it with you, like to help you.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you signed the thing. Of course, you could always go shoot up and OD.
No, I'm all for that. I think that's great. I don't want to be. I think what I understood about the Sharon thing, I didn't read this out loud, but she said ultimately it's a gift to our children because we don't want to be a burden on them, and I wouldn't want to be.
Children are good. They can afford to hire nurses. They're not going to be doing shit.
Well, then they're a burden on these freaking nurses. Well, maybe she's saying don't waste the money on these nurses. They're taking away jabs.
Yeah, who's going to go throw eggs at musical superheroes?
The kids should hire the nurses to throw eggs at their parents as they're being put down. I would volunteer for that job.
I would be scared to kill myself in that situation because, the only thing that would be going through my head in the last minute would be like, what if there's some cure for old age and it's going to come out like 8 minutes after I drop dead,
Well, that's like the people that do the cryogenic freezing. That's sort of what they're going for.
Yeah. Well, does that even work though? Like that seems like such a 21st century solution to a 24th century problem. Mm-hmm. Like what if you get there? Like, look at how these morons used to freeze people. We can't do anything with this. This is idiotic.
That's probably best case scenario. You're right. But it makes them feel better.
And also, though, why would you want to freeze like the worst version of yourself? That was my whole thing. You freeze yourself at the end of your life.
Well, I can answer that.
Your body's broken down.
I can answer that. The answer is that's all you got at that point. What are you going to do? Right. You can't get an time machine to go back.
Exactly. I'm just saying it's the ultimate flaw in the whole idea.
Well, you're saying people should opt into freezing when they're 35.
Yeah, that's it. If you want into it.
If you really think this shit's going to work, commit to the bit.
Exactly.
Well, a lot of them just freeze their heads because they're really just concerned with the brain being brought back and then put into a younger vessel.
Right.
Like Ted Williams' son.
Yeah.
Remember that story?
Yeah. That was when I never knew cryogenics was a thing until that story came out. I think a lot of the country first learned about that through Ted Williams' son freezing his dad's head when he
I thought
died
that
in
was
a painful thing.
by the way, Ted Williams' head, probably the least interesting thing about him.
Well, the eyes. He had such
Athlete.
good vision and hand-eye
Okay.
coordination.
Fair point.
My thing is, I just imagine, like, if I was doing this assisted suicide thing, that right before, like, the moment of truth, I'd be like, fuck, I forgot to lock the door on the way out of the apartment. Shit! And that would be my last thought.
Yeah.
Or, like, I left the stove on.
You want to think of something profound to say when you're going to croak.
But I
No,
guess when you're in this condition, you probably can't speak at all, so it doesn't, like, something profound to tap on a bell in Morse code.
You're damn right he can't speak. I cut out his fucking tongue.
Donated it to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for a few extra bucks.
Just in case he wants out of this assisted suicide pact. Fucking wanker.
Oh my God. They should. I'm just thinking of them saving Sharon's head and cryogenically, but the way it looks now.
Oh,
Like, what a.
oh, she would flush her own head. Forget anybody else.
Oh my God.
I won't have it.
Do you think they'll kill the dogs too when they kill themselves?
Oh,
It's like, who's going to take if they don't want anyone having to take care of them? Somebody would have to take care of the dogs too, right?
no, they
So-
can take care of the dogs. Come on. Don't bring the dogs into this, Sid. I don't
I
want to
don't
think about
know.
that right now. Stop
Put,
it.
I
put
don't
your
know.
paw print right here on this contract. That'll do.
Rob, would you
Verbal
take
is
their dogs?
binding.
No. If my dog could live, no, I'd want her to
No,
live
but
alone.
would you take the Osbourne's dogs?
Oh, depends how trained they are. If
It
they're
depends on-
pooping, if they're pooping and shitting in the house, no, thank you.
Dusty
And
Rose
barking.
Muffler with a good question. Why doesn't Sharon do a Chris Benoit?
And what's that, Sid?
Just kill the whole family yourself. Why you got to let Swiss people do your work for you?
Put the crippler crossface on on Jack and Kelly. Can't put it on Ozzy. There's not enough like meat on his bones to even put him in a hold.
Oh my God. Oh,
What was
What-
that thing he was hawking recently? I can't remember now. Bitcoin type of shit, right?
Yeah.
well, he
his
did
own-
that Workday commercial for the Super
Oh,
Bowl
yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was some like NFT,
NFT, that was it.
which I haven't heard that term. I'd say in at least 10 months, if
It's
not
over.
longer.
These people
Rob?
hold on to these fucking things.
No,
Is
I've
that
been
dead?
hearing it's been in the news lately about how worthless all of those things are now.
Oh
How
yeah,
people
but it
spend
hasn't
all
been
this money.
promoted like it was.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah,
don't
I
hear those
haven't-
scams anymore.
Yeah, I haven't seen any new NFT launches. But yeah, it never made sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, cryptocurrency makes sense. Even to me, whatever you think of it, good
Yes.
or bad, at least it's a scheme that you could say it's like the stock market. You could lay it out to somebody and they get what it is. Then they could accept it or reject it. But you got a picture and that's only yours, but you can screenshot it and it doesn't. I don't even understand what the fuck it is.
So right now it's Halloween season. My
Oh,
favorite.
is it?
My favorite season. Yeah, it's coming up. It's only a few days away. Only 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks away, Betty. It's your favorite holiday where everyone gets to dress up, eat some candy. Don't you love dressing up, Sid?
No.
This is him dressed up.
Yeah, this is it.
Kaya shirt.
And when I'm walking my dog around, and some people in my neighborhood do get a little festive. One thing that kind of strikes me, and I brought this up, I think, last year as well, is just how death has become a caricature, and how we just walk past like, oh, here's these corpses or these skulls, or it's like these are dead people,
You're talking
Or-
about the Q train, or
I'm not
Halloween.
talking about it. I'm not talking about everyday life in New York. I'm talking about the decorations, not just the dead people on the street.
Got it.
The dead people like there is a display on my block And it's a giant spider web, and then it's essentially what looks like a body bag hanging from a tree, but it's like a cocoon, is the implication. But in the dark, I was walking my dog at 11 o'clock, and I look at it like, holy fuck, is this a fucking hanging?
Some of these
anyway.
houses, man, they're going ham on this shit, like they do with the Christmas decorations.
Uh-huh.
They got a
Yes,
second
absolutely.
thing.
It's the goth version of his
Yeah.
Christmas decorations at this point. And now there's this lovely news report about a controversy over, believe it or not, who would think there'd be a controversy over this? A beheaded Jesus.
Oh,
Yeah!
shit.
Yes,
What?
I love it. I mean, let's hear what this is. There a story to this, or is it just?
Yeah, it's a new. I
Okay.
believe it's a new.
Oh, it's a
story.
video. I see. I
Yeah.
thought it was a still. Okay.
This is just decorations for fun.
Is that
It's
Phil
not
Anselmo?
real Jesus. These are foam props that I made.
It's styrofoam.
I'm very sorry if this hurt anyone.
This guy clearly probably on the verge of losing his job. I love that he knows he's going to be interviewed for the news, and he's like, "What graphic tee do I wear?" I know, the one with the skeleton on it holding someone else's spine.
Yeah.
It says, "I got your back." Virtue,
Anyone.
virtue.
So much like him. Like
He really does.
young Phil.
I
Props that I made. I'm very sorry if this hurt anyone. If this
No, you're
caused
not.
anyone to feel
Stop.
sad.
You
Bucktown
did that to
resident
her.
Vic Miorana is known each year for his
Where is
elaborate
this?
Halloween decorations, but people say
not sure.
this year's display might have gone too far.
Whoa!
I feel like it's
Just
disrespectful
fire
to
on
the
him?
people that believe in Jesus.
The display depicts what appears to be a beheaded Jesus held in the hands of the devil, surrounded by nuns and a priest.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Whoa, this guy.
Bypass this neighborhood.
Is it protected under free speech? Yeah, but does that make it right? You know, that's my real
This
question.
sounds like
And
Louisiana.
would you do
I
this
had
with
to
another
guess.
religion?
By
Because
the
I don't
accent.
think you would.
Yeah, he's got
Since
the
the
Pelicans
post went
hat. Yeah.
viral,
I
Miorana
didn't
says
know.
he and his then girlfriend parted ways.
Also, I mean, this guy has said some of the most racist
Oh, for
sure.
shit ever.
Come on.
This person in particular.
But it's not on his lawn. He doesn't
would
have
you-
a burning cross
Right. He says it behind closed doors,
Yeah.
respectfully.
at LSU
Do this
games.
with another religion? Because I don't think you would.
Since the post
Do
went
it
viral,
next Halloween.
Miorana says he and his then girlfriend parted ways after she received numerous threats about losing her job.
My girlfriend of 3 years has been harassed and online bullied with her and her family business. And due to that, she asked me to have this removed.
Do you see yourself ever taking it down?
Absolutely
Yeah,
not.
Not
November
even
1st.
after Halloween?
November 1st.
Yeah, what? He's just gonna leave it on year round?
No, this is just my house now.
If he was tough though, next year you got to do the beheaded Muhammad, right?
I was gonna
Oh,
say, right? Yeah,
yeah.
like do the Prophet
Put your money where your
Muhammad.
mouth is.
But can I just comment? I have two comments about this. The first thing
You
is,
can have as many comments as you want.
has
This is your
anybody
podcast.
actually seen that Passion of the Christ? Like, this is what happens in the
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
movie. And why are they suddenly freaking out about this? And
And here's the
also,
thing.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. Finish your point, Darren. I apologize.
no, you said I think that's related.
Well, I was
This is
gonna,
unrelated.
yeah, like to your point, like there's also skulls and ghoul, like there's all this other caricatures of dead people.
That was my
Why
point.
is it? Oh, okay, I'm sorry, then, Darren,
That's
but yeah,
okay.
like why is it specifically Jesus? Why is Jesus's life worth more than these unnamed
Well, I mean,
skulls here?
Isn't that like the defining question of like the last 2,000 years on this planet?
Wow, we really come
Well-
full circle on the show.
But Rob, to expand on your point, why is Jesus special as a corpse? But why are we upset at Jesus as a corpse when his whole story is how he became a corpse
Yeah, I mean,
and how he was beaten mercilessly?
and spoiler alert, he came back to life at the
Yeah.
end of that
What?
story,
So
right?
who
So
cares? None of these fucking zombies and witches in your fucking other displays came back to life. He did. There you go. He beat the system.
Whoop from notes. Headless Jesus is dope.
I think he did a good job. It looks nice.
Maybe next year he reverses it and it's Jesus holding the severed head of Satan. Maybe people will be more into that.
If you went back in time using Epstein's time machine, and you brought this diorama to like some fucking 14th century like clerics or whatever, they would. This would be high art. Oh, you ever see those fucking
They'd
paintings?
say not enough blood.
Oh, Satan is disemboweling people. Oh my God, they would love this.
I thought you were going to say if you used Epstein's time machine to go back in time and fuck Jesus when he was 10.
Get him on that plane.
How different would things have been? Imagine.
Oh, Jesus, rub Matt Groening's feet right now.
I mean, he did wash the feet of lepers, right?
Thank
So is
you.
it that different?
Close enough. Wash those corns.
Wash those corns is the episode title, by the way.
It's fine with me. I know that'll rope him in. We're gonna get Tony Atlas watching this episode.
You know, not to bring the convo back to jujitsu, but you know, I was already kind of.
Well, we're talking about a Jew, so.
Well, I was already kind of self-conscious about my toenails before in jujitsu. I'm always, you know, trimming them and filing them down.
Sure.
And now, especially now after reading that Matt Groening story, I'm like extra. I want to take extra care of them now.
I didn't cut my nails in a while because I had a bad accident and I had I couldn't grip I sprained my wrist really bad, this one. So I couldn't grip to clip them, and now I look like
how'd you
I thought
your
you
wrist?
said you stopped masturbating.
This was not well, no, I didn't stop masturbating. When did I say that?
Or
And,
did you say stop watching porn? Was that
I didn't really consciously stop watching porn. I just don't.
Oh yeah, no. I just wanted to make a joke. I know.
You're like the guy we talked about in the pre-show with the bad joke that I had to correct. I did a FFF, full speed forward face plant. I was running. Well, let me back up a little. So I was working at a park doing this beach volleyball game, and I brought this beautiful bottle that I love. Can't recommend it enough. Iron Flask. This is not a paid advertisement. This is purely an endorsement by me. And I lose bottles all the fucking time. So last year and early this year, I was losing them at the rate of like one per month. And it was very embarrassing. I'm a very scatterbrained person in general, and I would take these bottles, I'd drink while I'm doing the game, and I would just fucking leave it right there. So it got to May. I lost another bottle in May, late May. And I said, fuck this. Like, I made a concerted effort. I'm never going to lose a bottle again. I'm going to take extra precautions. When I'm done using it, I'm going to place it inside my bag rather than carrying it. When I go take a piss somewhere, instead of putting it on the urinal, you know, the top of it, I'm just going to put it away and secure it. And I have not lost a bottle in almost 5 months. I'm very proud of myself. But I left the bottle at this game on Tuesday. And I only got about, 15 seconds away. So I was like, let me run. I have to run back to make sure no one's going to steal my sexy bottle, because it's a very nice bottle. And I run, and it's dark, and I tripped over a fucking curb, and I went pancake face down like this. And the brunt of the blow was on my wrist, and I literally thought it was broken. Like I couldn't even rotate it or move it or do anything. And the rest of me was fucked up too. I've got a couple of scrapes here.
Oh god damn!
My knees are really bad, but this was those are superficial. This was like I thought I broke it. So I went to the doctor the next day. X-ray. You're no break, no fracture. Okay, good.
Wow,
Thank
lucky.
goodness. In 3 days, it'll heal. I said, I can't. You're full of shit. I told him. He's a nice guy. We could have a rapport like that. You're full of shit. There's no way this is going to heal in 3 days. He's 3 days. Dude, less than 3 days, this shit was fine.
Wow.
I had my little
All
brace.
right.
Wow.
Here's my brace. I was supposed to wear this brace today. I don't need it. It's fine.
Wow.
Thank you for all your thoughts and prayers.
If you had told us about this injury while it was ongoing, we would have.
Oh, that wasn't sarcasm. I didn't mean like thank you so much. I just meant like I didn't
retroactive.
tell anybody, so
Yeah.
no one would know.
Wow.
I was miserable. I thought I was gonna have to like not work and fucking like I take a week off, 2 weeks off. What? Fine. It felt like so bad. I couldn't even. I was doing everything left-handed, and I realized also, by the way, you don't think about this. I just realized how dumb my left hand is. Like it's so bad. I am not ambidextrous at all. Like it was a struggle to do anything, open a door. Like it's just so dumb. My left hand is very much the supporting actor in my life.
No.
Well, you just need to train it. You got to do practice.
I don't need to train it. I mean, unless
Like
I get
Lars.
my arm cut off, my right hand's doing fine.
Well, you never know. You never know the next time this happens. I remember. I remember I once busted my right wrist really bad, and it took a few days, but I eventually taught myself how to masturbate with my left hand.
That's what you
got to practice. You got to practice.
I did not masturbate during this this brace period.
Well, yes, this was back in my masturbation era. This was quite a while ago. Actually, it's actually the memory I remember is the memory I'm thinking of is when I was still in the apartment that Sid and I shared. So
Was this when you fell off your bike?
oh yes, there you go. That's what it was. Yes. I still think about that pathway and how dangerous it must be.
If only you had Grinder back then. You didn't need your left hand. You could have had some guy just come over and suck you off immediately.
Well, I'd have to explain to Sid what he's doing there, though.
Yeah, Sid had girls in there.
Yeah.
You have a right to do that.
But I was
thin
out
wall.
as a heterosexual.
Yeah, right. You didn't know he was. I see. That's what you meant. I misunderstood.
Yes.
When you had that bike accident, weren't you riding with Pepe?
Yeah.
You and
I was
him.
with Frank. Yeah.
Have you ever given thought to him pushing you off the bike?
No, he wasn't anywhere near me. There was like a hill that like there was a it was like the what's it called? The pavement cracked enough to create like a speed bump that wasn't intentionally there, and it just kind of
Who was ahead of
threw me
who?
off balance. He was far ahead of me.
And he didn't warn you about the speed bump.
Oh, good point. And you know what else? I dropped my wallet, and then he had to go back and bike there to find my wallet.
He did
found
that for
it.
you?
He did that for me.
Did he take a 20 out of it?
Well, now I'm wondering.
a tip.
That's sort of like George Bush ignoring the PDF warning about the PDB about the 9/11. He just let it happen. He didn't actually push you off the bike.
Yeah.
He knew what was going to happen. And he let it come to pass.
I think we blew Rob's mind.
I'm now I'm reassessing the entire situation. And I don't like it. It's been a while since we've checked in with good old Donnie Trump.
What?
Comedian Don J. Trump.
What's he have to say about the world?
I wanted to pull up some of his recent stand-up material.
Oh, boy.
Does he have anything to say about the suicide pact between the Osbournes?
There shouldn't be voter ID. Now you have voter ID to buy a loaf of bread. You have ID to buy a loaf of bread. You have
what?
Everything. You have pictures when the windmill.
I think maybe he's saying if you pay by credit card for a loaf of bread.
No, I think he's just
use ID. Maybe
he's
if
just
you pay by check.
He's a man who's never bought a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
in his life.
That's a fair point.
Mills are driving them crazy.
No,
You have ID to buy a loaf of bread. You have everything. You have pictures when the windmills are driving them crazy. They're driving the whales, I think, a little batty. And they're washing up on shore at levels never seen before. And our veterans.
I love when he falls into the version of Trump that's like the SNL impression of him. Like
Yeah.
that's a pitch perfect version
Is there a
of the
different
impression
version
of him.
than that?
Yeah.
Just talking about random things.
Yeah.
Refrigerators. Nowadays used to have 4 shelves in my refrigerator, now maybe 2 max.
But also just the repeating. The whales, the whale, they're afraid of the
Whales, the
windmill.
The whales have gone batty.
Wales, Australia.
Driving them crazy. They're driving the whales, I think, a little batty. And they're washing up on shore at levels never seen before. And our veterans don't have cell phones, do they? All
What?
the currently dry canals will be brimming and used to irrigate everything, including your own homes and bathrooms and everything. You're going to be happy. And law enforcement to arrest their leading political opponent, and leading by a lot, including Obama. I'll tell you what, you take a look at Obama and take a look at some of the things that he's done. This is the... And you know,
He's like
Jim
short-circuiting.
Caviezel, who's a big actor. And his
Who?
Jim Caviezel.
Oh,
He's a great guy.
Caviezel.
He also throws hats. Do you notice the hats? He's throwing hats, and he does it the same
I
way.
love when he
gets low and
winds
flicks
down.
his
He's like
wrist.
on low energy. He's like, "Yeah, where are the hats? The hats. Where are the hats?" That's after a long day of
He needs a
campaign.
milkshake.
And then he runs back out, but then he got this voice.
And we don't like these copycats, do we?
We don't like hats, people.
I don't do
We
that
don't like
thing anymore,
derbies.
'cause I don't want to. I watch them. I say, "Ugh." Oh. And her parents are so proud. 19 years. She's almost there.
What?
Boom. Couldn't do it.
Also, I want to point out all of these
What?
clips are even Fox News doesn't air this rambling anymore. Like, look at these graphics. What are these channels?
Is that like Steve Bannon's thing? Maybe?
Yeah, these are all online channels. That's the only thing that runs this stuff anymore.
And their windmills are causing whales to die in numbers never seen before. Nobody does anything about that. They're washing up and show. Crazy Nancy Pelosi who ruined San Francisco.
They're very mad that she ruined San
How's her
Francisco.
husband doing, by the way? Anybody know? Everyone thought Bush was going to win. And then they took a poll and they found out Trump was up by about 50 points. Everyone said, what's going on right here? They thought Bush, because Bush supposedly was a military person. Great. You know what he was a military? He got us into the Middle East. How did that work out? Right?
He got us into the
But
Middle
they
East.
all thought that Bush might win. Jeb, remember? And we did with Obama. We won an election that everyone said couldn't be won. I will direct a completely overhauled DOJ to investigate every radical DA and AG in America for their illegal, racist, and reverse enforcement of the law. Illegal immigrants that came in, they've got my mugshot on. We would win California in a general election if they didn't have a rigged voting system.
All right, we get the point. But yeah, wonderful to have our two leading candidates for president in the next election both be
sputtering.
suffering from dementia. Yes.
You're in a suicide pact. With
Oh my
Sharon.
God.
Maybe, now I'm imagining a Biden and Trump like holding hands, going to Switzerland, going to that.
I'm sure I would classify what Trump has as dementia. I think it's like being extremely stupid. I don't think he could finish a sentence and find his way out of a room. He's just a dumb fucking person. It's very different from what's happening with Biden, I feel.
Yeah. But they'll end up in the same place.
Sure. Well, Trump will probably eventually get dementia too.
Could you imagine?
Being an idiot.
What would that even sound like, look like? That? How would we know?
Look at the peaches, the strained peaches. I feel like Biden is also, like you hear him talk ages ago, like when he was coherent and young, he was not a bright guy either.
He had gaffes. He was a gaffster.
Yeah. He's just
But he was coherent. No, I think he could complete sentences.
sure. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying he was never. He is what Trump would be with dementia. Like he's a dumb guy who has his mind has turned to liquid.
Yeah.
Whereas Trump, I feel like, is still more coherent, but no smarter. Well, these are our choices, everyone.
Yeah.
The most important election of our lifetimes.
Isn't that everyone?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Very important.
All right. I do want to mention our Patreon, of course. If you love the show, you want a little more fun in your life,
I do. What do I do next?
go to patreon.com/RIPLivecast. $5 a month. You get access to two new bonus episodes every month.
Wow.
And we're gonna upload one tomorrow where we do a roundtable discussion on the new movie Cassandro, but the most famous Mexican exotico. That is a lucha libre wrestler who cross-dresses, performs as a as a crossdresser. And it was a very fun movie, and we had a spirited discussion about it. And at the top of the month, we did a watch along of the Dave Grohl horror film Studio 666. Watch that along with us. Have a fun time. And there's tons of stuff in there. There's over 3 years of bonus episodes, watch alongs, listen alongs. We, of course, have the Livecast Hall of Fame, where we induct iconic memes and characters and video clips including and we have a whole episode just on Mike Francesa.
We watched the Sharon Osbourne Fox Nation documentary.
Oh, that's right. If you want more important Sharon Osbourne critique, we have a whole episode where we critique her documentary about her quote unquote cancellation, which was one of my favorite things that we've done. So you can check all of that out, patreon.com/RIPLivecast. And for $10 a month, you could be a top Livecast fan, where you get a shout out at the end of the show. We'll get to that in a moment, but first I want to get to our Spotify playlist. Every week we each pick a song, we throw it in the playlist. We also invite one of our patrons to submit a song as well. That's fun.
And by the way, if you're a patron, check your messages, because we sent you a message. So if you haven't given us a Spotify link yet, there is still time.
That's right. Send
Check
us
your
a
message
song you want to add onto the playlist, and we'll include you in our gathering. Who's our submission this week, Sid?
It's Lando Danks has sent us a song by the band Alkaloid. It says, I've been jamming this badass new album on repeat from German tech death progger group Alkaloid. The name of the album is Newman. It features members of Necrophagist, Obscura, Obsidious, and Dark Fortress, which I assume are all actual bands, Rob. You'll have to confirm. Yes. If you're into technical, well-composed cosmic death metal, then this stuff is for you.
I am.
Well, now you can listen to it on our playlist, Rob.
That's great. And I picked the new song. It's a B-side from Health. They have a single called Children of Sorrow out now. And it's very, very good. All 3 songs on the single are great. And this B-side, Sicko, features Godflesh on it. So it's very fun. Very fun.
The whole band? It features the whole band, Godflesh?
Well, it's Godflesh is 2 people. So, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's and Health is 3 people. So they make up a full band when they get together. But no, Health has a lot of great collaborations. They did one with 9 Inch Nails last year. So they're doing good stuff. So check out Health. Darren, what's your pick?
My pick is this freestyle song, All Night Passion by Alicia.
Nice.
At a Metallica length 6 minutes and 49 seconds.
Oh my God.
As many freestyle songs are, I feel. They're just like club mixes that just, are made to dance to. And the thumbnail or the cover art for this single, which is, I believe, only a single. I don't know if she even had an album. Is hilarious. Just very 80s hairstyle. She's laying in bed talking on the phone, and she sort of looks like a soccer mom. And I had never known what Alicia looked like, although I love this song dearly. I never knew what Alicia looked like until I went to get this song on Spotify to play it. And she looks, she probably was 20, maybe around there, but dressed like a soccer mom. With hairstyle like a soccer mom.
When I was adding the link to the playlist and I looked at the picture, I immediately thought Kathy Griffin.
Ah, yeah, that's true. Latina Kathy Griffin.
And Sid, what's your pick?
Well, last week when we were doing the playlist, Mrs. Deuterino requested we put Al B. Shore on the playlist. And I was like, all right, I haven't thought about Al B. Shore probably in 35 years, but why not? Put Al B. Shore, the song Night and Day, featuring an album cover where he has the most aggressive unibrow you will ever see on an R&B album cover. And so Al B. Shore, late 80s, early 90s, moderate, like B-level R&B star. Check him out.
There you have it, folks. And also, I want to mention our Discord if you want to come hang out with us during the week. We're in a chat room bunch of different discussions. And I also I want to mention give a shout out to Israeli guy who I reached out to earlier in the week, and thankfully he is doing okay.
Great.
So I hope things are not too difficult for him and his family, but it seems like they will be all right. So very glad about that.
Yeah.
And of course, I want to mention our top live cast. Oh yes, what is RIP?
RIP this week in honor of Matt Groening is a really icky pedicure, which he got or should get, but
right.
Yeah.
Oh, and of course, if you want to send us feedback, riplivecast@gmail.com. That's the address. Here are our top livecast fans of the week. How should we do it?
You're Sharon Osbourne telling each of these people what their assisted suicide process will be.
2 weeks in a row, you're making me do Sharon. This is how much I love our
It's
patrons.
your favorite. We all know. We know what the deal is.
All right, Eric, come this way, come this way. Yes, sit down, or you will have death by 1,000 Ozzy listens. It's Ozzy singing pop songs until your ears burst. Okay, Benjamin Danner, this way, this way. You will have death by Kelly Osbourne strip show.
Oh my God.
Mindy Mays Kipper, Massachusetts. Come on over. Come on over. It's time to inject the drugs into your bodies.
Rub Matt Groening's feet.
Hugo, you like tacos? How about a little cheese on that taco from Matt Groening's feet?
Oh my God. You get cut with his jagged toenails until you bleed out.
Yes, Lando Dex, you must fall onto the nail of Matt Groening until he stabs you in the throat.
Has anyone made the hedge meme of someone seeing Matt Groening's feet and then going back in the...
Or just the foot going into the head?
Oh, I didn't play this. Hold on. Let me find it. Damn
Let's
it.
pause the patron reading.
Yeah, pause the patron reading because I did want to show this. Ben Garrison, who is a right-wing comic artist, who is not very good, but hey, even a broken clock is right twice a day. Because here's his comic commenting on this situation.
Oh, it is here, Lisa.
It's Lisa Simpson being the one disgusted and having to give.
At least
Matt
it's not
Groening.
Maggie, I guess.
Yeah.
It's very like the thing about Ben Garrison is his comics are way on the nose, like the stinky shoes. There's no room for interpretation.
Well, he's a great artist. I feel like he's a great cartoonist.
Yeah,
He's
it looks
just
like
using
Matt
it
Groening.
for weirdness. You know.
Okay, where were we in the?
I think LaCroix is next.
LaCroix! Get in here! You will be suffocated by the sneaker of Matt Groening. Corey and Scotty H, you have so much to live for.
Psych!
Doug Pigman! You will only eat kosher meals until you suffocate! No pig!
That was a bad joke. I apologize.
I'm Douglas. Who are you, Levison? You will have to sniff Ozzy's underwear to death.
On the Lolita Express.
Go on. Do it.
All right.
Yay.
That's our show, folks. We're going to get out of here. Thank you for tuning in. We love you. We kiss you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.